I knew about him, but you know, it's crazy. But all right, people, we're live here on Facebook. Another Sunset Sunday. This is a weekly show that I do every Sunday around this time. Today we got a special guest here, Mr. Michael McDonald from Toronto, Canada. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if I'd call
good.
myself special, but all right.
No, well, you know, hey, that's how I got to do. I got to do it that way to, introduce you. Since I know I met you. How did I originally meet you? I can't remember. Was it on LinkedIn or?
Yeah, we originally connected through LinkedIn, and then the company that I was with at the time was having a convention in the U.S. I think it was. I can't remember if it was Ohio. Anyway, point is,
yeah,
I came to the States for the convention, and it wasn't far from where you were. So we were able to connect, sit down and have a talk for a little bit.
Right, because I met you. In fact, you came to Columbus. That's where I'm at now.
Columbus. Oh, okay, there we go. Columbus. Yes. I remember that now.
Yeah, and you came to Columbus. Let me go here. And you and I guess it was one of your upline.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
One of the top guys of the company.
Yeah.
Yes, at the time.
Yeah. So you still keep in touch with him?
Keeping in touch with him? Yes, from time to time, Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
But
so when we were talking earlier, you said that company kind of had some issues and stuff. What are you doing right now? I mean, what's business and stuff?
Well, one thing I always had a passion for was day trading. Okay, so for years
I've freezing. That must be you guys freezing?
No, I'm seeing you live. Okay.
Hello.
Same with Kent. I'm seeing you fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, now you're frozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're frozen. Sorry, man.
I
think this is one of the problems with Zoom sometimes.
Right.
Same thing happens with Skype.
Right. Everybody's getting on there.
Yeah.
I can hear you now, Greg.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on?
But your video is frozen.
Even Kent's frozen.
Yeah, we can hear you. But the video.
Okay, you freezing.
Well, you're froze.
Okay, you can hear me. Because I'm looking at you on my phone too right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I know.
Oh, I hear you playing it back or something. There's a delay.
So it must be my connection.
Oh, okay.
Let me see something. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay. Well, keep on talking. Let's just keep on with it.
Okay. So anyway, like I said, I've always
I can
had
hear the feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on?
I've always had a passion for day trading and trading stock, and I always wanted to get into currency trading or foreign exchange trading, forex, right? And so recently, I got into a business opportunity that combines both forex trading and network marketing. So it's right in line with what I love doing. I mean, as a joke, I made 2 trades before I even came on the Zoom call here today, because the foreign exchange market that opens from Sunday evening at 5 goes 24 hours all the way to Friday at 5 p.m. So I've been enjoying that whole stretch of time with the ability to trade. With the stock market, I still like trading stock, but that's only between 9:30 and 4. See, so somewhat limited. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing right
Okay, yeah, because I have a okay, I have a well, I know a girl named Tracy Walker
now.
for the
Okay.
last year and a half. She's
Okay.
dealing in the foreign exchange, forex, and I didn't know if you knew her or not.
No, no, I don't know her. She might be. I know there's more than one organization doing this. It may be that she's part of another organization, or maybe the organization I'm with is so big I don't know of her. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And Mike, how long have you been doing that now?
Okay, yeah,
Believe
she's out of Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. Yeah.
She's out of Atlanta, Georgia right now.
Okay. So to be totally honest with you, I just started with this company, what, 3 weeks? The first week was just getting myself set up with the network marketing side of it. And then the other week was setting up my trading account and all of this. So, it's been just weeks. Yeah. So, so the good thing about it is this company provides
Okay,
education and guidance to people
okay, that's
doing
cool.
this type of trading.
All right.
You know.
Oh, what are you trading? Any specific
You're asking me if any specific like market within the forex?
um what do I want to say? Any
Well,
what
well,
is I want to say? Any specific yeah, any like Bitcoin or stuff like that?
no, I
You
haven't.
doing any of the digital currency like Bitcoin?
I haven't traded Bitcoin. Years ago, I did buy. I bought 1 unit of Ethereum, and I bought several units of Ripple. So I bought them, and I just still have them. I'm holding them. I'm not actually trading them. I've just held them. The reason I started doing that is years ago, a friend of mine, we do stock trading together. So we have a setup like this, but on
Oh,
Skype.
okay.
We connect in the mornings just before the market opens. We talk about, what we've heard out there on the street, and we might trade together on the same thing, or we each do our own trades. But in the middle of that, we heard of this thing called Bitcoin, and we thought, well, Bitcoin, what is that? We heard about it when it was pennies. And we said, I don't know. We kind of just set it to one side, didn't think about it. And then years later, it was a couple of years ago that Bitcoin had this huge boom. It was all over the news. All of the different financial networks on television started having a cryptocurrency report every day. All of a sudden, it became serious business. And we thought, oh my God, we missed out. We didn't we didn't take any action on it. We didn't understand it. We didn't try to understand it, and we should have. But there you go, opportunity missed.
Yeah. How much are you familiar with? Well, my familiarity with it is through the blockchain,
Yes,
where the infrastructure of the Bitcoin is supposed to be built on.
that's right. Yes. So the blockchain, as far as I understand it, is a very secure system that
So,
is not
so I was
tied.
trying to see. I was kind of interested in getting.
Interested in, sorry?
We get
Getting a
this
lot of
feedback.
feedback.
Yeah, a lot of feedback.
Okay, I know we get it's a delay. Yeah, I was like I said, I was interested in it. Yeah, because I'm. You know what it is? I'm looking at you guys. on my phone. So let me try to.
You know what it is, Gregory? I think it's because you're on two devices. Because I'm hearing you on the computer, but you're also accessing this by phone, so you're getting feedback between the two. So you should
Yeah,
either
but I'm
just go on audio on computer, or if you stop the phone, you probably stop getting the feedback. Or even turn one
right.
of them
And let
down,
me get
turn the
off of.
volume down. Yeah.
Let me get off of here.
Okay. All
Uh,
right.
see if this thing will work. Let me see what this is going on here. Unmute. How can I fix this? Exit. Hello?
Yeah. Can hear you.
Yep. He's still here. Can hear you.
This okay, these guys are. Did I lose you guys too? Hello?
Well, not the
No.
audio. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you hear
we're
me?
still here.
I'm not sure if he can hear us, Kent.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
I
Can
don't
you
know.
hear us,
Text
Greg?
message or something.
Say again.
I guess I don't see you and I can't hear you guys now.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
You might have to pop back out and pop back in.
That's what I was thinking you should do. Yeah. Maybe you can send him a text.
Hello?
Yeah,
What's going
yeah.
on?
You might have, if you can hear me, Greg, you might have to pop back out and then pop back in.
Maybe I need to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think you can hear me.
Hide self.
Oh no.
We can hear him though, just fine.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just.
That's
This is
how it
not
is with some
working at all.
technology.
What's going on?
When it's working great.
I know. And then when it doesn't work,
exits.
oh. Same thing with Skype.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm lost them
with
altogether.
everybody having
Internet unstable.
access this now, things
Yeah.
like this are more often than not to happen.
Oh Lord, this is all unstable.
Poor guy.
Okay. I'm not.
Anything
Let me do
now,
this.
Greg?
Let
I'm
me
just
end
saying
this thing
something.
again. Let me end this and go back. No. Let me leave meeting.
And it's so strange.
Yeah.
His audio is loud and clear, no problem. Right?
Right. And that's the fact about it. Greg and I are about 7 minutes away from each other.
Oh, that's funny. That is
You're
so
in Canada.
funny. Yeah. That's very funny. Oh man.
That's how it'll be. So I think we can, as they say in the broadcast, fill the air until he gets back on. That's
Yeah,
all
I guess
good.
so.
That's all good. But yeah, and you were talking about forex. Let me ask you, what made you decide to go that route?
Well, forex trading. First thing is that, as I say, it occurs in a 24-hour cycle from Sunday evening at 5 all the way till Friday evening at 5. So during that whole, at nighttime, you could be, I don't know, not that I do it this way, you could be watching TV while you're trading. You know what I mean? You could be making money while you're watching TV. And I'm not trying to say anybody should even do that, because to my mind, it requires some focus. You got to know what you're doing. Now, mind you, what happens is, okay, I think he's coming back. Anyway, the company that I'm with.
I think he's back. He's back.
Hey,
Is he back?
Okay, we just can't hear you, Gregory.
Now we can't hear you. See,
Okay, can you
that's
hear me
what you
now?
get for talking,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
picking on
Yeah,
me.
I had to go out and come back in. This thing is not working. Okay.
Uh,
Now, I don't know what I missed.
you didn't
We
miss
were
much.
talking about,
Yeah,
huh?
you
Uh,
did.
Kent and I, we were just shooting the breeze till he came
Right.
back. Really.
Okay, yeah, I said, let me
Feeling
get
the
off of
air.
here and come back because it was like not working at all. I didn't know what was going on. So I had to reassign myself back, come back on and go back on and see what's going on. So, all right,
Right,
that's,
right.
hey, it happens, people. Technology is great, but it's not perfect. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's all right.
What were we talking? We were talking about
Oh yeah, we're
what's
cool.
going on
We
with you
good.
with cryptocurrency and
Oh yeah. So well, the last thing we were discussing is you asked me about, if I was involved with any cryptocurrency,
uh-huh.
and yes, I can trade cryptocurrency, but I have not traded it. What I have done
Okay.
is I have purchased some and I still hold it. So
Okay.
that's what I've been doing with cryptocurrency because I I'm waiting for you know I mean, it's almost like buying an investment and wanting it to really appreciate before I cash out of it. So
Yeah.
that's why I have the cryptocurrency that way. The
Yeah.
trading is for regular currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollars, Swiss franc, what have you.
Let me ask you something. We talked about this before. With all this that has happened with this pandemic, um, things are things are changing, and I don't know if we're gonna go back to pre-corona or not. Okay, be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah,
There's been talk about whether all of our currency is gonna go all to digital. They're gonna get rid of paper money altogether. They're in the beginning of this current corona thing. They were talking about whether did money help spread the virus, paper money and everything.
yeah.
So I just want to, since you're in the trade and all that, I wanted, what is your take on, do you think that may happen? Will they go to total digital currency? I'm kind of, at first I was kind of gung-ho about it, but so I was watching another video and they said that's really not a good idea because with banks, if you don't have that money in there, or say for instance, how I'm trying to think how they put it, but for instance, if you may not have enough in your currency, but you might have cash on you, okay?
Right.
So you can still pay for whatever merchandise you want because you have cash. But if you just have total cryptocurrency, you don't have enough to do, you're kind of up the creek. So if they got rid of total paper money and we went strictly to digital, what is your take on that? So I mean, since you're into forex trade and all that other stuff, I just wanted to get another opinion about that.
This is just my personal opinion. I don't have any insight as to what's happening. What I do know, years ago, I used to work in the banking industry,
Okay.
and believe me, frontline. I wasn't a bank executive or anything,
Okay.
but even then, they were focused on driving telephone banking, computer banking, using your bank card at the bank machine. The whole idea was a push towards the whole monetary system being handled electronically.
Right.
The idea of cash was really becoming like outdated. Cash costs money to the system, believe it or not.
Right.
To print notes, to maintain security on notes, to protect against counterfeits, all of this kind of thing costs money to manage. Now, this COVID virus, there's this talk that, yes, like you said, that maybe the paper that we're carrying and exchanging with each other was allowing us to spread a virus. Who knows? That may be the case. I don't know. But what is interesting to me is how much of our system is already tied up in money as a digital concept, right? If you're working a job, okay, chances are you're not getting a check sent to you in the mail anymore, they're just depositing your pay straight into your account electronically.
Right, like they're doing with the stimulus, like they did most people
Yeah.
with the stimulus. Right. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. You know, there was that worry whether it would be a good idea to go, because I remember back in the mid-90s, I used to work for a company called AirNet, and their biggest revenue came through transporting canceled checks all over the country. They use Lear jets to transfer them all over the country. They started even gotten a contract in Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By the late 1990s, 2000s, when they got, do you remember the thing called Check 21, which you're talking about, where they started wanting to change all people's banking to a more electronic stuff, no checks. Banks were getting rid of the checks and all that kind of stuff. Even now, they want you to go paperless. No, you know,
that's right.
Not sending you statements and all that. Well, that move cut into that company's revenue, because that was one of their biggest part of their business. They had another part of the business, which is like the testing, like we got now for COVID. They did specimens. They flew those out, because I used to pick up I did two parts of the business. I did the banking. I take canceled checks like the Huntington or Bank. Well, now Chase, it was Bank One then. And then I would take stuff to LabCorp and all that other stuff. But when Check 21 happened, they had to lay off a lot of, and I eventually was one of them people that got laid off because they didn't need us anymore. And the work dried up. We used to have one of the biggest accounts in Newark, Ohio, called Park National. Well, they lost that account. They lost the Huntington, and they lost three major ones: Huntington, Park National, and Bank One, which is Chase. So yeah, I understand. We always talk about business disruptions that are happening. Okay. So right now we're in another disruption because of this pandemic. And me and Kent were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. Nationwide Insurance, they're saying their whole business model right now is going to be work from home. They're getting rid of all office employees, because the building that's here downtown Columbus, they were paying over $1 million a month.
I can believe that.
Office space.
I can believe that. Yes.
And with this pandemic, they said, well, we could save money if we do this and that, have people work from home, and that's what they're doing.
I think the biggest challenge is security, right? If they're going to have people working from home with other people's banking information, they need security. They need to, number one, they need to be able to rely on their employee, that their employee isn't going to, get into anything.
But you know what? That's been the biggest problem in the U.S. Versus like Japan.
Yeah.
Our digital infrastructure is so outdated. They had a thing on 60 Minutes, and they were talking about this is why the RNC in 2016 and DNC got hacked, because our infrastructure in the U.S. is 50 years old or more.
Mm-hmm.
They still got punch cards, stuff for computers. Who uses that anymore?
You serious? There's still punch cards?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. This was this wasn't a couple of years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I don't think it was even 10 years ago. And they were saying how old the infrastructure and really how old our grid system is. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were out of electricity for 27 hours.
Oh.
Because we had a storm come in here, knocked out a tree fell on two houses, knocked out the transformer.
Wow.
So we sitting there, and it knocked out just this one side of the street. Electricity gone, 27 hours. And then 2 weeks before that, we were out 7 hours because somebody hit somewhere, but the whole neighborhood was out then. But it's just, it shows you that the U.S. is so much behind in their infrastructure and not spending the money to keep up, because our grid right now is very vulnerable to cyber attacks.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really, now you talk about taking out a whole grid of the United States. Now that will make you real vulnerable to a lot of different things.
Oh yes. Oh,
You know, so I understand, and with the digital thing, you might get, okay, I see where they're coming from, but then on the other hand, if they don't fix, like the blockchain is like the regular internet, but for the financial world, you have to have an infrastructure. Well, actually, the blockchain's built on the internet and all that other stuff. You got to have that infrastructure to build upon all that stuff. Because if it wasn't for the internet, there would be no blockchain.
Right.
So, and if they don't fix all that kind of stuff, that's gonna make cryptocurrency vulnerable. Okay, because there's always gonna be some way they finding back doors to do all kinds of stuff. There were some people talking about that stuff too. So we are vulnerable right now as far as in our digital climate because we haven't put the money into it. And stuff,
but let me give you an example. You talked about blockchain and cryptocurrency. So one of the cryptocurrencies I have is Ripple. I don't know if you've heard about that. So Ripple was actually being used by some of the financial institutions right now to do money transfers. Instead of doing a wire transfer, they use Ripple to move it around. So I thought to myself, it was a good idea to get some Ripple. So I bought some Ripple. But believe it or not, there was a way that once I had gotten my Ripple, I could take the electronic record off the system through a series of codes. So this is what they call a paper wallet. So you have your cryptocurrency, you're holding it, but it is not vulnerable to attack because it's not sitting out there on the electronic system anywhere. Nobody can find it and do anything with it. Only whenever I want to turn this Ripple back into currency that I can use, there's a series of codes that I enter into the blockchain system, and there's my Ripple available to me now to be used as currency. So on the one hand, it's an electronic system, but on the other hand, there are non-electronic ways of securing it. So I don't know if some of those ways are going to be used to secure people's bank accounts in the future. I have no doubt at all that the bank wants to move to making everything electronic. They don't want to have to deal with paper, and they want to shut down bank branches like you wouldn't believe if they could do it. That hasn't happened, but that's what they would like to do.
Yeah, because when my mom, her state teacher's retirement, I don't know if it's what do you call it, like a
pension fund
savings, but it's a savings kind of thing. They got rid of all the tellers. Yeah, they don't have any tellers anymore.
Wow.
All the tellers are gone. It's been like that for like 5 or 6 years. You go in there.
Oh, it's like a credit union. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, credit union.
Like
that's
a credit union.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They got rid of all the tellers. There's no tellers except for maybe a few bank managers that sit. But all in all, you can't go up to a teller no more.
Yeah.
Okay. Now your regular banks here still got tellers and all that other stuff, but this one, that was the first time I've ever seen no tellers at all. I was like, ooh, there's something getting ready to happen here. I mean, I don't know. It's been, I thought probably that, like you're saying, I thought probably we would be all total electronic currency by now, but we still, you still got paper money and everything. And now, like with your debit card, talking about wallets on your phone, you can do that. On an iPhone, you can you have a wallet, and if you got money in it, you can pay stuff right now off your phone.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nice, but then it's like, I'm always thinking, there's always gonna be some kind of. I don't think anything is infallible. That's just my take on anything. People always trying to find a back door. I mean, like what you said, you took some parts of. If you could take that part of that currency and do what you did, what makes you think somebody can't find a back door to do that? I mean, that's the way I think.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Because if you could do that right then, well, then, hey, somebody else could say, okay, he did it. I can do this. And is this something you have to look at in that aspect? It's just, you got to make stuff harder for people There's going to have to be like, when you got, what is it now for your banking and checking, they got these anti-theft things. So they send you an alert if you got some kind of weird activity going on. Well, that's probably going to have to be the same type of thing anyway. There was another thing I saw, and they were talking about testing for the corona. And this is something they said they were doing in China. Are you familiar with the term Internet of Everything?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Over there, this guy was talking about, there was the controversy about the 5G. I have a friend that lives in Switzerland. They're so against the 5G. I said, well, I remember they were talking about 4G. They were against it, when it came out. One of the things the controversy came up was whether, the health issues that 5G gave and how the coronavirus and the 5G came about was that they said the 5G was giving people symptoms similar to the coronavirus.
I didn't know that.
And they were trying to link that, they're saying that the 5G was exacerbating the coronavirus. That's not what was going on. People were getting symptoms that were similar to what people were getting at the coronavirus. They had nothing to do with each other.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
But
I didn't know
the
that.
health issues that were there.
Wow.
So now I haven't heard that much about it. When the coronavirus, there was a big controversy about it. There was a guy that told me that right off from Brighton Road, they had a tower, a 5G tower. And it was there. It wasn't there one day. He went back the next day and it was there. So I don't know. It's crazy.
That's how they do these things, man.
Right. They sneak them up on you. I just don't know. They're talking about the internet. The problem with this going to happen with the internet and everything is that like you can opt out of using these type of phones. Okay, you can opt out. He said with the 5G, the plans with the 5G for anything, you can't opt out of it.
Really?
Okay, for the simple fact it's going to be all surrounding you. It's not like oh, I don't want to do this.
Wow.
That's not going with 5G. The plan that's not what's going to happen. What they're doing, what I heard they were doing in China to do testing, they have these guys with these goggles, and they can actually test your temperature, your metabolic rate, all this kind of stuff using 5G technology. Okay, that's one of the
that I don't doubt, because I know that's already possible. The military has that capability already.
Right? Yeah. Wow. And they're doing it now. They got infrastructure set up in parts of Wuhan and Beijing, parts I think even in Tokyo and Japan or Osaka. But they've been, especially Japan's been ahead of us technologically for probably 15 years.
Yeah. They're
like 15 years ahead of us.
Yeah.
There was a big article on that also. At least 10 to 15 years. So I'm just kind of like, I mean, it's going to be interesting. With all, we got smartphones. They're talking about, they're actually right now, they're building, as a company's building what they call smart houses. Okay. So you can go open door open, lights off. Well, it's similar to, what was that commercial with the elderly guy, clap on, clap off? Well, that's kind of almost a similar thing. You're just using voice recognition type stuff.
My friend, he's all about Apple products, right? He's got an Apple computer, he's got an iPhone, he's got an Apple Watch, and he's automated his entire house on voice command through his phone. And actually, no, he now has the Apple Assistant. So he's sitting there and he'll say, whatever the assistant, I guess Siri is the Apple name for iPhone, right? So he'll say, Siri, turn on the stereo and play me some jazz. And it happens. And, he says, oh, the lights are a bit bright. Can you dim the lights, please? Turn the sound up, turn it down, turn the TV on, turn it off, whatever. He's already doing that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me one bit.
See, I mean, I don't know. I don't use the Siri or that. What's the other one? The Echo, or what is the
Echo? Yeah, the Amazon Echo. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got into all that. I don't, I had this girl I used to date. She was very leery of having a webcam, and she said she used to tape the viewfinder. I said, well, you could ruin the thing doing that. But then lately they're talking about that people can hack into that even when it's not on and see you doing whatever. I said, well, here, I'm doing, how you doing? You know, all that kind of stuff. So it's just crazy. You guys freeze up again?
No.
No, you.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good
Okay.
now. You're good now. You're good.
I said, I don't know if I'm not so worried about that type of stuff with them looking at it, because when I'm off the computer, I close the laptop down.
Right.
I have a Mac also,
Yes.
you know, desktop thing, but I'm not gonna get to the point where I'm so paranoid that I can't do nothing. No, I'm not gonna live like that. That's crazy. You know, we're in interesting times. We had a thing a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about, you know, working from home. I think this is gonna be really the new normal, people, for the simple fact
I agree with that.
that people have gotten used to doing it.
Yes.
And even though they're opening up businesses and, you know, companies back up, people are going to be really leery and say, why would I want to go back to the office in a cubicle, packed in there like a slave ship almost, you know? And people don't, you know, some people in their hygiene was bad before the corona. So, you know, why would you want to be, you know, kid, hey, when we worked there, you know how it was. So I'm just saying, people are like, no, I'm not with that. I don't want to go back there. And I've been working from home forever. So I think what this whole pandemic has done is legitimize home-based business, really. It just legitimized everything because of even the technology we got, been around here a long time. Granted, you know, we didn't have Zoom a couple of years ago. We didn't have all this streaming stuff. Now, business people, I can do a meeting to somebody that's across the lake in the pond in England. I ain't got to make a reservation on a plane and go, here, I can do what I need to do. You got electronic signature, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the need to do all that stuff? Now, business can be done at the speed of light. And I've always said that before. And then I had this book that I came across that I've had for 20 years by this man named Frank Feather called futureconsumer.com. This book was written in 1999. He talked about the first transference of wealth from 2010 to now. And now there's going to be another one because of what's going on with pandemic and the changes that are happening. We live in, if people are open, it's a great time to be alive, interesting times. People who are like, oh, this is doing this, is disrupting, they're going to be worried about it because they're not seeing, if they're working from home, they don't see the advantages they can have actually really. And we talked about people need to start a business from home. You know, even if you're working for a company, even if you're working for a company from home, you need something that you control, because people are going to get laid off from the home working from home. Okay.
Yeah.
Contrary to what people think that's going to happen, because you're working from home, you don't control it and you don't own it.
And
so
anytime you're working a job for a company, you've got no control. They make their decisions when they make them, and that's it. You know,
like I keep saying, people, we're in the time right now, starting probably really right there. It usually really amps up. Companies are making decisions about fiscal 2021. Yeah. We're in the third quarter. Third quarter of business wise, they're making decisions. By the fall, they're gonna make decisions who they're gonna keep, what company. Well, actually, they're cutting right now. Like I just said, with Nationwide, they said, forget about it. Why spend $1 million on business when we can have they must have some technology where they can get are their employees that tap into their network, and bam, they can
Yeah.
work from home.
Yeah, that's all they need.
That's all they need.
Yeah.
So then that will cut down on commuting, because
Mhm.
they noticed that since when we was in heavy lockdown, what was it on the ABC nightly news? They took pictures of places like India,
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
that the atmosphere had cleared,
Cleared. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
where they couldn't even see it. You know, LA was very heavy and smog. Now seeing that they're getting unhealthy again because they're opening up again and people are commuting and traveling. But at that time, like March and April, the skies were clear. They said the ozone was healing itself. Deepak Chopra was talking about that this event was nature's way of telling humans y'all messing up. Okay. He said,
I hope we got the message.
He said, humans, you are messing up the environment. So we had to we had to unleash this thing to get y'all tightened up. And, you know, and it's healing itself. You know, they keep telling people about the weather changes and stuff. Right now, it feels like it's fall here in Columbus.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got we're in the low 70s maybe today, and then it's supposed to get hot again this coming week.
Yeah, we got Canadian weather today.
Yeah. So you know it's so have they canceled a lot of y'all? I know was it in August? They have a Caribbean festival up there.
Caravana, yes, canceled.
Yeah.
All of the major Toronto festival events, all of them canceled this year.
Wow.
Because they mainly take place in summer. They got a huge jazz festival, gay pride day, all this kind of stuff. All of it canceled. Yeah,
same thing here. They canceled the Asian festival, which was usually Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
I just saw that they're going to do Festival Latino virtually. They're calling it virtual.
Okay.
Virtual something. They changed the name for it this year, I guess. Arts Festival. No, Arts Festival is going to be done. It might have been this weekend. It was done virtually. First year
it was this
canceled.
weekend. It was virtual. It was virtual. It was this weekend.
ComFest was canceled. Pride thing was canceled. Did they moved the Muirfield golf tournament to what, later next month? I think it is.
I think it's later this month.
Is it later this month? Well, we're already halfway through the month. So
yeah.
Ohio, the governor was kind of on top of a lot of things when this was coming down. So we're not experienced like a lot of other, like Florida. Florida's getting a resurge of spikes everywhere.
Wow.
All down south. And I tried to call a buddy of mine that lives in the Tampa area, but I haven't get a hold of him. I got family in Miami, both sides of the coast of Florida. So I saw some of them. They seem like they're doing okay. But, you know, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, all getting these spikes. Of being spread because they didn't gradually open. They just like open up. They just like open the door, let the floodgates open.
Yeah.
They didn't just kind of sneak, see what's going on. So I don't know, man. You know, if they're talking about they're working on some vaccine that may be available. I just saw that they did a test on some monkeys on this vaccine, and they said the immune system held with this vaccine. So I guess because my monkeys have a similar structure as man. So they tested it on them. Similar. Yeah, similar. But that don't mean that it's going to react the same way as on us as it did them either. It's crazy.
I heard about a test. I heard some tests done on actual people. I don't know if it's the same vaccine, but I heard of one vaccine out there, and the tests were successful or promising, they say. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything done on. I knew there were some people that were going to be guinea pigs for it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I hadn't
Right.
heard if they
Not
had actually
volunteer.
tested them on it and see any results or whatever. So I just don't. It's crazy. I don't. Nah, I don't want to be no guinea pig on it. I don't
No,
even.
I
I
don't
don't even
either.
take the flu shot no more because I
Same
had a
here.
bad reaction to it one time. I don't
I,
know, man. I just don't know.
you know, most people are deficient in vitamin D, and vitamin D is, I think, is not talked about enough. I always think to myself, when we live in North America, everyone in North America is deficient in vitamin D, and anybody who's got melanin in their skin, okay,
Mhm.
even less.
Yeah.
So I've been telling everybody I know, especially other Black people, I've been saying, listen, make sure you take vitamin D because there's actual scientific research saying that vitamin D helps to protect the body against viruses. That
Yeah.
this not it's not a promise that by taking vitamin D you're not going to get the coronavirus, but
Sure.
this is what I've been hearing. Vitamin D is very, very, very important,
I also been
and
hearing
important for everybody.
yeah, I've been also hearing about certain blood types. They're saying um
Oh, didn't know about that.
A blood types are more susceptible than the O's. So I don't
Oh,
if you know what you're I said I ain't me and my mother we know we're an O. So because
yeah.
my grandfather, my dad's an O, but my grandmother was an A, but she's deceased now. So if you
Okay.
know what your blood type is, you know then you can determine a lot of stuff. That's another scientific thing they've noticed. Um, who knows, man?
Yeah.
But I like I said, I think personally, and I believe this all on. I think either there's one or two things they were messing around with the this bat coronavirus. They were talking about they were doing this as far as back as 2018. Um, because one of the lab people got infected. I think I don't know if she died or
Oh,
they took her off the manifest that that worked at the virology in
yes.
Wuhan. Um, because they're talking about the spike protein of this particular virus made it very transferable to humans because they kept saying they didn't know if it they said they didn't know if it came from the bat to another animal to humans or did it go straight to them.
Mm,
Okay.
wow.
But then on this video that I had walked out called, is if you go on YouTube, it's called China's Death Labs.
Huh.
These other medical people saying they believe this couldn't have happened naturally because their studies showed that these bat coronavirus proteins usually are not infectious to humans, transferable naturally unless they're genetically manipulated. Okay.
This is what I've heard. This is what I
Okay.
heard. And the
And I
problem
just
was
said,
the infection started in Wuhan, and in
right,
Wuhan there's an actual virology
right.
research
That's where they're
center.
saying that's where they're saying the problem started at. First, they wanted to say it was at this fish market, but the information that came out is saying there was no evidence of any bats that they had at the fish market.
Mm.
In fact, this particular horseshoe bat is not usually in city limits. It's found 600 miles away from Wuhan in dark, wet caves. That's where their habitat's at.
Yeah.
There's a lady that was an expert in dealing with bat coronavirus, and she had a nickname called the Bat Lady.
Okay.
This is the only reason might have happened that she would bring some of these bats to test how this coronavirus spread.
Yeah.
And at this Wuhan virology lab, there were known to be a lot of mistakes, not high security, a whole lot of problems. And their whole instance is saying that these people either screwed up because they're saying there was known accidents, even some of these bats, they would get spillage from like urine or blood, or some
Oh
of the
yeah.
bats may even bite on, or all that kind of stuff. So if that's the case, either one of these lab people got out and spread this thing through the city, and that's how we got this. If something happened, it was an accident or something happened, or it was done on purpose. If you think back, there's been a problem between China and America because of tariff trade. Okay. So if that's another case, they were pissed off with America about some things, because there was an article I saw on Newsweek about they caught 2 Chinese nationalists with 3 vials or something. They didn't say what they were.
Wow. Wow.
There was a doctor in Boston that was investigated that was dealing with all this stuff. So there's a whole lot of different things going on that we don't know. Okay. And like I said, at 10 o'clock tonight on CNN, they got something they talk about. Scientists have linked this coronavirus to these bats, the horseshoe bat.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. You know,
Wow.
It's so crazy. Because I remember they had an outbreak of SARS in 2003 here. And something in 2010. So we didn't shut down all this stuff then. So what's the big deal now? They keep saying it's a novel virus. Well, how novel can anything come from a same family of viruses? They all have a similar genetic makeup. Yeah. Okay. No matter if it's different on the whole structure, if it comes from the coronavirus, it got to be something similar if it's from that family. It's just like your family, y'all. What if you go, you can link your genetic makeup from your family, but you're gonna have similar traits. Right. You might take hair or whatever from whoever in your family. Well, it's the same thing that would be with that type of thing. Yeah. So it's this, they're hiding a lot of stuff. And they even now they're saying that this thing might have been known even in August of last year. You know, first it was November. Now I even moved it back to August of last year. I'm like, it's crazy, man.
It is. And I don't know if we'll ever know all the facts. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the one problem, you know?
Yeah. It may come out if we get rid of this administration.
Yeah. That's a whole other night's discussion.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic that we got to get rid of. We got to. America can't sustain another year of Trump. There's no way.
I don't think the world can sustain.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
This is not just about America.
Because the world's not even liking him. He had tore his butt with a lot of people, a lot of allies. I mean, Germany, UK, they kind of like, why don't y'all do something? He's a fool. I don't care. Do something. So we can go back to doing business. You know? I mean, this is crazy. Gosh. It's just a crazy situation, man. So it's I don't know. So are you working from home now too, Mike?
Actually, yes, I do. I work from home for a cell phone company. So when you talk about 5G, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I work from home. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. This is not new to me. I've been working from home for years and years.
Okay. Well, see, yeah, like me, and you know, Kent, he worked for Cardinal, and he started working from home. What was it, about a couple of months ago now?
Yeah, it was March 18th.
Okay, well, yeah, that's true. So you've been doing this one. That's almost.
Yeah, it'll be 3 months. This week. Yeah.
So you know,
who would have thought? You know.
Yeah, I know, and I have a friend that I've been telling you got to get internet. You got to get internet. You don't know what's going to happen. She worked for a company. What is that? They did HUD type stuff. Well, long story short, they got rid of her job. She was an inspector for housing for people who are underprivileged housing. Well, they got rid of the whole department. And they asked her, do you have internet access? If you want to keep your job, you got to get internet access. And I've been telling her, you got to get internet access because it's a necessity. It's like a utility. You need lights, you need this and stuff. So she finally got it. She's been out of job, and she's been at a job for almost 20 years.
Oh man, wow. Just
You
like
know,
that,
so
eh?
it's a different market that's out here now. I call it the new economy. Everybody came up, well, we're in a new economy. No, we were already in a new economy. We are in a new economy. We've had another disruption in the first disruption.
I think this is what I find interesting. You know, they say a lot of the jobs that we're doing now will become automated. Now, it just so happens the job I do is because the automation breaks down, because the specific area in the company that I work with is supposed to be handled completely by computers. Mm-hmm. It's that their process breaks down. Sometimes it's human error why it breaks down. My job is to intercede and to fix the problem. Okay.
Right. Well, even with automation, somebody has to come to program, send the information to a computer to even start the automation. So if the information is jacked, you got to have somebody. I had a discussion with a cousin about that. It's like, well, you know, everything's gonna be like, well, computers don't have a soul. Okay, that somebody's got to give it the information to even screw up. Right. Okay. Right. So until you're not gonna get rid of all human interaction with jobs, even if you automate, because somebody's got to maintain it. Like you said, you got to make sure if it messes up, I got to go in there and fix it. If the program got some kind of glitch in it, I got to go in and rewrite it or take some code or whatever out of it or add something. That's got to be done by a human. Now, if a computer starts becoming doing this stuff by itself, then we in trouble. You know, I haven't seen that yet, and I don't really want to see that because that's crazy.
Well, here's what I say. We have all of this technology in our hands now. And so what it's doing is creating new ways of getting income. So you got all those guys now driving Uber, delivering food, you know,
drone delivery,
home delivery, even our you know, the network marketing that we're involved with. Look how much of it is technology driven now. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's selling soap out of the trunk of their car, right? No. You send people to a website and they buy their soap and it gets delivered to their home. This is the new world. So on the one hand, it is going to shut down a lot of jobs that we were used to doing. But I think on the other side, it's going to open up a lot of new opportunities, and people need to shift their thinking.
Oh yeah.
That's what they need to do.
Mine has to shift from the job going to a job to the job at home.
The job at home, or finding new ways to make income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. I just wonder how if my dad was alive, what he would have thought about all this shift.
Yeah, you know, interesting.
It's just crazy. Or some people, you just like, wow, it's a different world. I mean, I don't know if I ever thought this was. Well, no, I did, because the first time I did an interaction on somebody, was my cousin online. Remember AOL?
Yeah.
Remember that instant name? I showed a marketing plan on AOL.
Oh,
and this is back in this is back in between 1999 and 2000.
Okay.
And then I said, why are we chasing people around them to show a marketing plan when we can do this right here? Yeah. I had that thought process back then.
Yes.
Okay. I said, it don't make no sense. I said, I can sit here and talk to people over in the lake. Now, my cousin lived in D.C. What was he? No, he was at the time, he was in Alaska. Because he had just grasped, he had got a job. He works for the National Weather Service, but he's now in Atlanta.
Yes.
But at that time, when he got out of college, he went to Alaska for a couple of years, and then he went to Atlanta. I just showed him this morning over Instant Messenger.
That's fantastic.
This is before all this streaming and all that other stuff. You could actually still interact with people that way. Yeah, it was the kind of text type of thing, but I was like, well, then I had that thought then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just everything caught up with me. You know, it's a crazy, it's a crazy situation, man. And I'm sitting there now. In the summertime, I'm on a sun porch doing work and stuff now.
Yes.
And usually in the wintertime, I'm upstairs with the Mac, and I might use both my laptop and a lot of different things. So it's you know, I don't know what to say, people. If you know, if you're watching this and getting value, share this out, because hey, it is what it is. And I don't, you know, I don't see us going back to anything that we used to do, because people are not gonna want to do it.
No.
You know,
No.
Right.
people
And the force of the amount of technology out there is such that we're not rolling this back. We're not rolling this back. The technology is it's compelling and it's moving forward. So no matter what we do, you know, the old ways of doing things are not going to come back.
Right. And now I've been watching a lot of movies that are, you know, we remember, Kent, we were talking about what's going to happen in the movie industry. Since, you know, all these movies were not being released because they shut down the movie theaters. AMC was already in bad shape before this, what I heard. Remember, Drew was talking about, well, AMC, they got this card and well, okay. Then about a week and a half after he was on, talked about that, they were down $138 billion.
Wow.
Okay, that was AMC. Yeah. They said now they got a grant for $500 million. They said they can sustain themselves. We don't open. They said if we don't open up by Thanksgiving, we're done. That's what AMC said. They're done. So they don't know that. So we'll see. Because a lot of stuff I saw, The Irishman that released.
Yeah, I saw that.
Netflix. I just watched. How'd you like The Four Bloods?
I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that.
No. You haven't seen that?
Yeah, The Five Bloods. Check it out.
Five Bloods.
Okay, all right. I'll check it out.
I saw that on Friday. I saw that on Friday.
Real good play.
Oh, you know a movie I just watched with Taraji Henson called Acrimony on Video Prime?
I saw that a year ago.
That's a crazy. She was crazy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Whoa!
Yeah,
I had seen.
I want to check that one out.
Just man, I watched that.
Have your date with.
Yeah, I watched that on. What did I watch that on? What did I watch? It was a Thursday or Friday? No, it was Thursday. I watched that. I like, whoa, that's a crazy movie too. But I watched I caught up on all the Marvel stuff. I saw Iron Fist and what's the other ones they had out? I can't.
I mean, recently, I don't know the latest, you know.
Well, I don't know if they were latest or not. They were just a whole different ones. Iron Fist. There was I can't think of the other one. There was the one that was the guy was like invincible. He had like iron skin. What is this? I can't think of the name now. But there's a whole series of them because they all interchanged each other. The characters, they're on each other's things. So I went through all that. The only one I haven't not watched was The Punisher.
Okay. Yeah,
but you know, it's
I've never seen it.
They're pretty good. There was some stuff I had never seen. Also, I watched Marco Polo. About Kublai Khan.
Yeah,
I had started to watch that a couple of years ago, and before I got this other TV, it was freezing up on me, so I just never went back to watch it. So I finally went back and watched it. It was pretty good. So
okay,
a lot of martial art action in it, especially from his. There was a character in there. He was a Taoist priest, and Kublai Khan said, "How's a priest, a priest like you, take on 25 Mongol soldiers and defeat them all?" He said, "What are you, some mysticist?" Well, you know, Taoism is supposed to be based on a lot of mysticism because they live way up in the Wuhan Mountains in central China.
Yeah.
Okay. So they deal with a lot of different things. They're not like the Shaolin, but what do you think about this latest craziness that's going on in Atlanta? You know,
that's wow, that's rough.
I don't know if it's going to be able to be more. We can sit there and march all we want. Just gonna, and I grew up in a time. I remember, and I've said this before. I remember, and I don't know why I remember this. Remember the 70s when the Irish Republic Army was having trouble with the UK?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep messing around, that's where we're gonna be at. They're not gonna be
I'm
able
hoping it doesn't devolve to that.
Hey, you can't. Hey, I'm looking at it this way. The Shaolin, let's go back to history. China. When the Shaolin temples were burned up by the Manchu, what do you think they did? They didn't just say, oh, well, Shaolin, the Manchu kicked our butt. No. That's how rebel factions are developed, because you keep messing with a group. It's like a bully. If you don't handle a bully, you got to do something. Okay? You can't keep saying, oh, talk and do. These people, they don't seem, I mean, right after one thing that's happened, you get another one. Come on.
Yeah, but burning down a Wendy's, that doesn't achieve anything. It doesn't achieve
but
anything.
I wouldn't have burned down the Wendy's. My whole thing was you hit the source as the problem. That's the thing. You hit the problem source, not the source that didn't have anything to do with it. I never understood of people tearing up their own yard or their home communities. I never understood that.
No.
I understand you hit the source of the problem, because you can't just tear up your own stuff and then expect the oppressors to come in there and fix it. That don't make sense to me.
No.
Okay. No. So if you're gonna do that, you hit where you need to hit. That may sound bad, but I mean, how long can you sustain that kind of stuff? You can't. If something doesn't change within, I mean, all over the country, not, this is starting to happen to be a global. They're going to have, I don't know if the answer is to defund the police force, because you're dealing with people. No matter what other situation that you put in, you're going to always have these bad apples. What it has happened is that they need to lower the standard of being a cop in the United States.
Right, and even a dog is gonna
Yeah, he gonna bite you a little hole in your butt. Okay.
Yeah, but you see, you talk about the IRA, okay, in Ireland. I heard eventually what happened is the IRA would make an attack, then there'd be a retribution, then the IRA would make a revenge attack, and then there's a revenge for the previous retribution, and back and forth, and eventually the Irish people got tired. They said, look, all we're doing is killing each other here, and we're getting nowhere with this. So at the end of the day, I'm not sure that attack is
but that's what I heard, that what the IRA did, the first attacks. Well, see, you gotta look at it. I've been around post-military type people. And what has to be understood is that, like the IRA, they don't attack you by letting you know they're going to attack you. They basically like terrorists. A terrorist does not tell you, I'm going to come and do this to you. No. It just happens. Yeah. You sit in a cafe and it goes up in smoke. That's what they were doing. Okay. The British didn't know what was going on at first. Okay. They didn't know that this was a certain sect of rebel factions that were, telling them, y'all got to get out of here doing that, because they didn't know what was going on, because it was just like boom, boom, shit was going up in the smoke. And you can't keep your foot on certain people and not expect a retaliation sooner or later. And I'm talking about a drastic one. Okay, if they don't do something, it may not be my age group, because if my age group gets doing something, y'all don't want that. And some of the people that I know, y'all wouldn't want that. But these young cats, they ain't gonna go for it. They're not gonna go for it. They don't care. Ain't got nothing to lose for anyway. They got to do something. If you want America, y'all better stop abusing folks. Just because you wear a badge and a gun or whatever, don't give you the right to do that. The problem too, is that the standards of being a cop in the U.S. has been lowered. Okay, you could not be. You had to be weight proportion to height to sustain your job and being a U.S. cop all over the country at one time. Now they don't even have that no more. Now they used to have, it was real stringent on sheriff department, state highway patrol and stuff. You had to be like that. I don't even think they're like that anymore. I think the standards have just dropped. And the problem is that's why it's become like the Wild Wild West. It's more easier to pull from the hip than to de-escalate something.
Yeah.
Because they're not trained to do it. A lot of them guys are out of shape. They're alcoholics. They got, police have the highest suicide and divorce rates around.
Yeah.
That's fine. I understand it, but there's still got to be you're there to protect and serve, and there's still got to be a standard to uphold to do that, and you have to be mentally and physically together to even do anything. If you're not, you're gonna go to that kind of crazy stuff because you're all jacked up in the head. And if those type of things don't come back, I don't know, because they could defund all the police force in the world if they don't input standard things to maintain in those whatever they decide to put back. If they do that, you're gonna have the same problems again. So if a standard is not implemented, and if you can't maintain that standard, you lose a job. That's what's gonna have to happen. Okay, that's what's gonna have to happen. If they can't do that, then I don't know. You're gonna have anarchy in those streets because ain't nobody gonna keep letting. They're gonna mess with the wrong family. Okay, they're gonna mess with the wrong family, and then then it's gonna be it's all she wrote. And then the biggest problem with black folks, they don't fear a retaliation. You don't see that. They don't go into Chinatown. They don't go into Little Italy. They don't go into Koreatown and do that stuff. They only do it to certain groups of people that they do not fear retaliation. If they fear the retaliation from blah, blah, and there's going to be some black people they're going to have to fear retaliation because it's going to happen. We can talk all the stuff about Martin Luther King. We can talk about all that stuff. We've been doing it, but it's done no good. So what's going to be the alternative? We can talk till we blue in the face. We can march down the street till we blue in the face.
Well, I believe me, I don't see any other viable way out other than that. I've got two people I know involved in the police force here in Toronto, and one's a cop, and the other was involved in the hiring of cops. Mm-hmm. And here in Toronto, you couldn't just be a cowboy, oh yeah, I like to use guns. No. Mm-hmm. To be a police officer here, you had to pass a certain psychological screening.
Right.
People with known problems, they just didn't even qualify.
Right, and that's what they lack.
They need to do.
That's what they lack here. See, in all the other countries around the globe, even in UK, you gotta meet certain mental, physical criteria. Japan, Korea, the same way.
Yeah.
You have to have at least 3 years of martial arts training, knowing how to, not to kill, but to de-escalate a situation without pulling a gun. You have to have it.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to be a certain proportion to weight, the height to maintain your job. These cats here are nothing but a bunch of cowboys.
Wow.
They get these Yahoo from anywhere.
Yeah.
They drunk. Half of them are high on cocaine or something, and there's no standard maintained here. So no wonder you got escalations and stuff going on because they don't maintain a criteria or a standard for them to keep a job. So it's just they're almost like a bunch of wild cowboys in the Wild Wild West with guns.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's always different in places like Canada and everywhere. US is just went butt wild. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, well, I don't want to keep y'all on this. Like,
yeah, gentlemen, I got to jump off myself.
Okay, well, it's good talking with you, man.
Likewise, man.
Stay connected.
Good seeing you again, Michael.
This on Sundays all the time. You know, you more than welcome to come back anytime you want to.
All right, cool. Thank you.
You could bring a guest or whatever. Let me know. Well, you know, these things hold a lot. I just wish my the computer didn't. I gotta go call AT&T
and see what's going on.
I don't know. It's been the Wi-Fi here has been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's just even once in a while now I get this thing says internet thing is unstable. I don't know. Paying too much money for that to be happening. So, you know, like I always end this with saying that, you know, people got to go back to work, and most people, Les Brown said this all, he said, heart attack rate goes up 35, 40%, probably 50 now, if you got to go back to your job for the coronavirus. Is it, don't let the job put you in an early grave, people. It's not worth it.
True.
Not worth it.
Sure.
So, like I said, we're gonna end this right here because I'm gonna watch this thing on CNN too.
Okay.
Coming on now.
All right.
So, thanks for coming on, Mike. Appreciate
no problem. Good to see you guys.
All right.
And hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, we will. Most definitely.
All right. Good night, guys.
Take it easy. All right, Kent. I'll talk with you later on. All right. Everybody, thanks for joining. We'll see you on the next video. Peace out.
Stay safe, everybody.